there's all kinds of controversies about the origins of, because everybody did it. They were doing it on the East Coast. They were doing it in Europe. If you give a kid a skateboard and, you know, there's the front door of your house, what's right outside the door of your house? Just fucking curbs and chaos.
Fuck, curbs, man, what do you want to know? They're red, and they grind good?
It's the first problem you encounter on a skateboard. You rode off them, and if you rode off one, you had to ride back up one at some point.
It's a building block for all skaters.
Let's see what she has to say about curb skating. Mom, curb skating.
Curb skating is great.
It's one of the best things about skateboarding are curbs.
When you're jamming down the street, you're hitting a crack, you're hitting a bump, you're hitting a curb, and you're fucking gnarly.
There's streets everywhere and there's curbs everywhere. If you're not rolling, hopefully you're grinding.
It's like a vertical ditch. It's a little right angle quarter pipe.
Everything's got to start somewhere, right? You know, so curbs and parking blocks, you know, and dance, baby, dance.
Remember board slides, kick it up to a Smith grind like curb dancing.
And Lucero was doing these hurricane grinds. It blew everybody's mind.
You know, just leaning back on it, doing all these little combinations of curb.
Lucero was the first person I saw do that, so he could be the grandfather of the dance.
Curb skating was mimicking vertical. Then dudes refined it into their own art.
Life imitates art, art imitates life. Fucking go skate a curb, man. I don't.
It just became like this subsect of skating, more of a lifestyle. I mean, you get a party ball, 5 dudes at a killer curb, it's on for hours. Or you could even have a contest, and people just love it.
Beer and curbs.
Yeah.
These curbs right here where the first street contest was put on. The Skate City locals or whatever, like 9 of us, put on an actual pro street contest. I think $25 or something was the first prize. I'm sure Lucero won. The front of the door was right here to Whittier. You'd walk straight in here to the front door. The arcade was on this side, the pro shop was on that side.
Me and my friend Richard, our mijo, we got kicked out of the skate park just for being total idiots. And so we just started skating the curbs in front of the skate park.
These curbs were the same original curbs. This is John's little escalator. He was like the rad dude because he could do board slides up and over the escalator. Neil could too.
Who the hell made up the slack?
Lucero.
Lucero.
Name and move.
Lance invented the slappy.
Lance invented the slappy?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Lance did.
Supposedly Lucero made up slappies, you know?
It had to have been, because I remember you were not good at slappies at first. You were in Lance land.
Oh, you gotta be out of his mind. I was good at slappies before you were even skating Whittier.
First time you saw someone do a slappy, it made no sense.
Let's just slow-mo and dissect the shit out of it, dude. What happens? How does that happen?
Yeah, how do you get up there?
Dude, seriously, it's almost like you can taste them. You're just like, ooh, I want to taste that curb. Sample it like the fucking smorgasbord, you know?
It's like, it doesn't make sense how the board's gonna slide onto the curb, but then when you actually do it, it's perfect.
You just smash it. It's just crashing into a curb and just go through it and grind like it doesn't really make sense.
I don't know if you ever smelled a cable car braking, like flying down a hill, and it's like this burnt wood, metal, stone. It's real like Stone Age like. This now I think is the best curb you could possibly get. It's an old school painted granite curb. Perfect height, perfect angle, fucking lay into it, rip ride.
red, green, yellow, black, just the good paint, or granite, or New York metal.
87, some Santa Monica redid the whole beach there, and then they added those little double-sided, they called them, Nautics called them Tootsie Roll curbs, and you skate the shit out of that one.
Captain.
Yeah, and then Tom Knox part and Speed Freaks, I remember seeing that before, like right when they finished editing it, and just being blown away.
Tom Knox used to fuck curbs up. Wow, man, that guy was like a poet.
The kid from San Jose.
Yeah, the kid does ride a mean curb. The no comply Lucero could do, and Neil named it because you don't even pay attention to the curb. You don't comply with the curb's wishes of stopping you.
Mickey Reyes, Julien Stranger. Can't leave Lance Mountain out of it. Ricky Barnes, Ricky Windsor.
Ricky Windsor.
Ricky Windsor.
Ricky Windsor.
San Jose, the SSG, the Scurb Skate Gang.
Bruno Musso, Jeremy Henderson.
Do we need to get into Hensley right now?
Yeah, probably.
Danny Sargent.
Danny Sargent goes on that list.
Eric Dressen.
Yeah, and then, guys like Gons came along who, it's like, oh, it's not just curbs that we can ride, it's stairs and it's rails, it's everything. Like, it was an evolution, right? Like you would talk about early street skating, it's curb skating.
Right? And it's doing all these loops, and it costs like $50 to go to the amusement park, and we're in line with hundreds and hundreds of other people waiting to get on this fucking roller coaster. And we're looking down into the parking lot at all these red curbs. Both of us are just staring at these red, like, just painted red curbs, and we look at each other, and we're both thinking the same thing, like, what the fuck are we doing in this fucking line right now, And that's the thing about curbs, man. They're there, they're everywhere, they're free, and they're funner than $10 million roller coaster.